Have you ever stopped to wonder how languages come up with new words? Sometimes they don't just invent them out of thin air. They get really clever with the words they already have. Today, we're going to unlock one of the coolest secrets of the Portuguese language, the hidden and honestly fascinating world of compound words.
So, I want to start us off with a little puzzle. In Portuguese, the word for a pansy flower is amor perfeito. Okay, simple enough. But if you translate the two parts of that word, you get perfect love. So, what on earth is the connection? Just hold that thought for a second.
And believe me, this isn't just a one-off thing. Take Monsanto, for example. It's this huge famous park in Lisbon. Well, that name originally came from two separate words, monte, which means hill, and santo, meaning holy. So how does a holy hill become a park? It really does feel like there's some kind of secret code hiding right there in plain sight.
Well, today we are cracking that code. Welcome to the secret life of words.
The key to this whole thing is something called palavras compostas, or, as we call them, compound words. It's kind of like language chemistry. You take two or more words that already exist, you mix them together, and poof, you create a brand new word with a totally new meaning.
So, how does this actually work in practice? Well, it turns out there isn't just one way to do it. Let's open up the toolkit and see how these words are built.
You've basically got two main paths to get to a new word. The first is what we can call a partnership. This is where words team up, but they kind of keep their own identities. You'll often see a hyphen holding them together. The second path is fusion, and this is where the original words just completely melt into each other to become one single new thing. Let's break those down.
First up, let's talk about our hyphenated heroes. These are the words where you can clearly see the team members at work.
What's so fascinating here is just how logical these combinations are when you look at them. A guarda-costas literally guards the back. It's a bodyguard. A sacarolas pulls corks. It's a corkscrew. And mil folias, this is my personal favorite. It's a cake with 1,000 leaves of pastry. See? In these partnerships, each part keeps its own stress and brings its meaning to the table.
Now, sometimes these words need a little help, a connector, like a preposition, to join them. For instance, the word for pink is cor de rosa, which literally means color of rose. Or a chapéu de chuva is a hat of rain. Now, most of these don't actually use hyphens, but there are a few really famous exceptions, like cor de rosa.
Okay, on to our second method, which honestly is even more dramatic, fusion. This is where the original words don't just partner up, they completely melt together, and a totally new word is born from the ashes.
And here's the crucial point. When these words fuse, they don't just join on the page, they join in how they sound. They lose their individual stresses, and the new word gets just one single stress, which makes it sound like one cohesive unit. Let me show you what I mean.
Okay, let's take two words. We've got agua, which means water, and ardente, which means burning. Now just watch what happens when we push them together. They're about to fuse,
And boom, they become aguardiente, a strong spirit or liquor, literally burning water. The original words are still in there, you can see them, but they've fused to create something completely new.
And this happens all over the language. A girasol, a sunflower, literally turns with the sun. A pontapé, a kick, is what happens when you use the tip of the foot. And vinegar, vinagre, is just sour wine, vinho plus acre. Seriously, once you see this pattern, you can't unsee it.
So, what does this all really mean? Well, it means you now have a new kind of language superpower.
Let's circle all the way back to that first mystery, amor perfeito. It isn't just some random name for a pansy. It's a tiny two-word poem. Someone, ages ago, looked at that beautiful flower and thought it was the embodiment of perfect love. And the name just stuck. It's beautiful, right?
So at the end of the day, this just shows us that words are like language Legos. You can click them together to build something totally new, but you can also take them apart to discover these incredible little stories hidden inside each one. So now you have the key. You can look at a word like Monsanto and actually see the holy hill it used to be. You can see a guarda-costas and picture the person literally guarding someone's back. The real question is, now that you know the secret, what other stories are you going to discover?